I'll record 4 anyway. I wouldn't recommend videoing all of it, it'd be very boring.
Record again now that we're reviewing something. I've already done zooming on Pikachu, so there's no need to do it ever again. Got to keep it alive.
We will do it again, and then I'll berate you for it. Fucking hell, this is annoying. The worst thing is, this isn't even the fucking tape that's going to go on the album.
There's not much to film in here.
I know.
I've done a pan around the whole room. I'd zoom in and out on the mixing desk, but...
Done that already. On previous albums.
Yeah.
And the mixing desk's not as big, so it's not as interesting.
That was exciting. It hasn't got a red button on it.
Alright, so here we go again. So I'll delete that because I don't think we want to be double tracking that anyway. It'd be interesting to have it double tracked purely to have something different.
Yeah.
Double tracked it on Worlds, but then we didn't really use all the other tracks. Counting with 3.
I'm trying to record the interesting bits and not just endless same tracking.
Good luck.
If there are any interesting bits.
Let's improve the ratio of idiocy to time wasted. Maybe not much though. Right, okay. So are we ruling out the 2 tracks?
Yeah.
I think the 2 tracks is poo. It just sounds too... It sounds alright, but it's never going to sound massive.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds decent. That's the one with the mids cut.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been asked another really super important question by Neoma, who said, also, what shampoo do you guys use? Now, since I cut my hair off quite a long time ago, I'm not particularly picky about what shampoo I use. I just use anything that's in the bathroom, more or less, or no shampoo if I'm feeling really lazy. How about you, Rainer?
I think at the moment I'm using Fructus. I think it's
very nice.
Shampoo and conditioner, the same one. I used VO5 for a long time.
Oh, well, that's... it's kept your flaxen locks healthy, has it not?
Probably not.
Okay, so John Cayley says, having been privileged to have seen you players in Pera, there were certain tracks from that era that didn't make the remastered Gods Among Men album, Abigail Gores being the notable track for me. My question is, which track is on the cutting room floor that was hardest to leave out?
That's a good question, isn't it? We didn't put all the tracks that we had on the Sands of Time release, even though it was a compendium of demos and old recordings and just basically unreleased stuff. But there's only so much you could fit on a 78-minute CD, so we picked all the stuff that had actually been released, didn't we, to put it on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically the only things that we left off the CD were things that were never released ever. Because Gods Among Men was released as a demo CD, a four-track demo CD. Then we did the Tomb of Kings demo, which had Tomb of Kings and As the Wind Blows demo tracks on it as well. So basically, we have the re-recordings as well of Ancient Prophecy and Gods Among Men that we did. We did those in 2003.
That's right. Yeah.
And those we sort of released those. They were released online. So yeah, so on the Sands of Time CD, it was everything that we'd released, but that wasn't actually on our albums, like old demos, this, that and the other. But there were about 5 or 6 tracks that we'd never really released that didn't make it on there, and Abigail Gores is one of the tracks that
What were the other ones?
John Kelly's referring to.
Hallowed Halls.
Hallowed Halls, yeah. Last Stand.
One and to the same.
Yeah, Retaken Empire, Live the Lies, a few other ones. I don't know, there was another one I think, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, 5 or 6 I think. But yeah, so those tracks just haven't been released yet. I don't know, they may be one day. And the thing is, we talked about re-recording some of them, but it's really hard to sort of capture the atmosphere, isn't it? Back from from back in the day.
Yeah.
We had a different drummer who played on those songs. Justin was the drummer then, and with me drumming them, it sort of doesn't really sound same. It's a completely different thing.
It was one of those in the moment type scenarios, wasn't it?
I mean, we could always remaster the best versions of those songs and then put them out just on as a digital only release, I suppose, if anybody's interested. Not that anybody would be, I shouldn't think.
John Cayley also asks, are there any tracks which remain unfinished, which you just can't decide how to progress?
No.
No, it's the whole album.
I don't think we've ever really had a particular trouble progressing ideas, have we? I mean, things generally just naturally find a place and slot in with each other. I don't know, can you think of any songs that we've done and...
The only situation I can think of there we struggled with the song was the end of When the Stars Line.
Yeah, we did play around with the sort of layout and arrangement of that track quite a lot. But we sorted that out in the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had on Part the Ways, we had a section that we just ended up scrapping in the end as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we scrapped a section, didn't we? And we probably won't be using that again, but otherwise I think we've used, since we started writing Legions, I think we've pretty much used most of the raw materials that we've come up with for each writing session.
Yeah, not much junk.
There's been riffs knocking about that we've used, like the riffs,
a couple of good ones.
Some of the ones in Inside the Godmind were from the Worlds era. One of them was a coda to Bequeath Thy Visions that we took off because it just made the song go on for too much.
Oh yeah.
And it works, but that works really well as a separate song now anyway. No, I don't think there are any. So no unfinished tracks. Another question we've had was from Mariachi, who said, discuss your influences because it's hard to find other DM bands that sound like Mithras. That's an interesting question, so over to you, Rainer.
Well, I do think it's an interesting question, and I mean, we're influenced by a lot more than just death metal bands.
Yeah.
By a long way.
Probably more by non-death metal bands than death metal bands.
Than by death metal bands, yeah. I mean, obviously, we'd lie to say that Morbid Angel wasn't an influence, especially the earlier, Covenant especially.
Well, that's interesting you should say that, because another question from Joseph Yap was, how much does Morbid Angel influence your work? So...
But early on, drum-wise, it was very much a massive influence, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, drumming on Covenant particularly.
Yeah. Well,
it's got that sort of
general, really.
hyper-militaristic feel and, phenomenal drum performance. I suppose we've sort of been chasing after that kind of standard ever since and not quite getting there. But at a faster tempo, I guess, which makes it harder.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're quite an influential band anyway, and then you can argue that they've influenced many other death metal bands as well.
Yeah, that we like too, yeah.
So how can you,
it's hard to sort of isolate, a particular part of our influences just specifically from Morbid Angel, but I suppose one thing I always liked personally about Morbid Angel was that kind of really dark sort of, they have a really dark sort of weird feel to a lot of their albums, and
especially Covenant,
it all comes together, so it's more than the sum of its parts. And yeah, I know a lot of people aren't into that album so much, or a lot of people see it as a really straightforward kind of, sort of just tracks bang bang bang, and not as varied as Blessed Are the Sick, but I think it's definitely the best album. Yeah, it's got that really sort of dark, chaotic feel to it. Yeah, but still super tight.
Yeah. I would say Blessed Are the Sick is good, but it's got, I think Blessed Are the Sick is one of those, it's got its moments albums rather than being as solidly good as Covenant is. And the same with Domination as well.
Yeah, I mean, Domination's a great album. It's got some really good stuff in it. Some of the lead guitar work in that album, I suppose, was inspirational to me a little bit. Morbid Angel was, a band I often listened to, but I suppose I stopped being influenced by them a long time ago. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it was. You know, that was something like when we were younger. It's like, this is a cool band. Listen to this band. We did that with many bands. Emperor was the same. Really.
Yeah, I mean, we used to be quite into Emperor, didn't we? I still think Anthems is a fantastic album.
Yeah.
I suppose that was a big influence on us when we did Worlds. That really dark, sort of overwhelming feel, and Yeah, you know, really
It was.
bombastic and over the top.
I mean, other influences, obviously Rush.
Yeah, I suppose.
You used to argue Rush was an influence.
Yeah, probably become more of an influence as we've got older as well. You know, trying sort of different stuff,
Definitely.
stuff that's a little bit more progressive on this album. I suppose Bausa Goth have been an influence on us to a degree as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, with their sort of experimental edge. You know, the fact that they're so out there and crazy. That's always been inspirational.
And they embrace their ideas very much, and they chuck themselves in the idea. They're not scared to do that.
No, there's been some, you know, great jumps off the deep end on their albums that I thought were
which
really
I think is quite inspirational, really, isn't it?
You know, and they're a band that sound really English as well.
Yeah.
If you can possibly quantify such a thing. Talking about our influences, I suppose if you go back to when we first started playing music in bands, I mean, we weren't even into Morbid Angel or
didn't even know that.
A lot of death metal bands then, you know. I suppose we were more into stuff like Slayer and Metallica, I guess.
All the early Metallica stuff.
Yeah, I think guitar-wise, a lot of the guitar playing is probably quite influenced by Metallica. You know, all the more crushingly heavy stuff, and yeah, I still think we've got that sort of sound in some of our songs and riffs now.
Yeah, I definitely think Metallica, you know, especially the likes of Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets.
Yeah,
massively. And like you say again, Slayer.
Yeah, Slayer to a degree as well.
But as you said, I mean, when we started off, we were sort of like, we didn't really know of any death metal bands as such, did we?
No, not when we started our first band, and then I suppose when we formed Imperator, which is the band that we changed the name and became Mithras, then we decided to have a more extreme direction, and naturally that led us to be more death metal oriented, I guess. Even though we've never really been a death metal band in the sense that we've never had songs about, you know, the normal death metal tropes about murdering and zombies and gore. Not that, you know, that's something I used to find quite annoying when I was younger, but now I think I've finally cottoned on that it's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
Can't beat a bit of Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. I mean, that just got better and better.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose, talking about our influences, one good way of thinking about it is, as we, you know, when we started back in 1998, we were into, I suppose we just started getting into bands like Morbid Angel and,
Cannibal Corpse.
well, we were into, you know, bands, we've been listening to bands like that since, you know, the mid-90s or whatever, but we started really listening to them and thinking about the kind of stuff they were doing and wondering how we could apply the extremity of the techniques to our own music.
And which ones we really liked and didn't like.
I mean, and we were into Deicide as well in the mid-90s, like in 95 or whatever. Remember that was I think Once One of the Crust was one of the first death metal albums I actually heard.
Mine, the same with me.
There are albums along the way, for me personally, that were like milestones. I think when we heard The Inexorable by Angel Corpse, I remember that was a really sort of like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
The drumming on that was phenomenal. It was phenomenal drumming by Tony on that, and I think I remember that really giving me a kick up the arse and making me think, oh, we can definitely, you know, there's all these things we can do, because it was like a step on from Formid's Fatal to the Flesh, which had great drumming on it and really, really super fast. But the Angel Corpse album was kind of, you know, maybe even a little bit more over the top.
Yeah.
And I suppose at the time when we were doing Legions, we were listening to loads of Cryptopsy, weren't we? Like Nunsa Vile, which is super, super fast. And that's where that super fast element to the, you know, we just wanted to see how far we could push it.
Yeah, it was, you know.
You know, I'm not sure we pushed it as far as Cryptopsy, but, you know, I'm not sure it would work for us.
I think we pushed it and then went, right, we can go really fast, but maybe we should get some technique.
Yeah, because on Worlds we sort of had the opposite, where we sort of, for us, we pulled the tempo back because Legions had some songs on it. I think one bit's up to 340. There was loads of stuff over 300, and then on Worlds we pulled it back down, and the fastest tempo was 280. And we started doing a sort of different kind of drumming, really. You know, more sort of slightly more technical drumming, less barbaric, and
bit more
really focusing on the feet.
Bit more of a mature attitude.
Yeah. Instead of having really fast hands and sort of feet that aren't as fast, trying to keep the hands and the feet like on a parity. So I had to basically speed my feet up to catch up with my hands. Bring my hands down a bit. But after that, I mean, it's hard to say after that, because once we did Worlds, we started sort of, it started to be harder and harder and harder to find bands who were doing stuff like us, and
that's just a case of,
then we just kind of started making music for our own entertainment, and
just doing whatever. And bands would come along that we're like, oh, we like this band, but not for the reason that they were like us or because we're being influenced by them.
Yeah, it's quite hard to it's quite hard to think of bands that are similar to us. I mean, there are bands out there that have got similarities, but I don't know. It's a really difficult question, isn't it?
I don't think it's not something that I even think about as such, if you know what I mean.